Hi everyone. So as I mentioned, I would be basically sharing a picture about my vision board that I recently completed. So this is the vision board I recently completed. And as I did mention before in the other video, I am an avid believer in vision boards. I do create vision boards, and I also do workshops in the community related to vision boards with different organizations. So I'll go a bit through this vision board that I recently created and speak about some of the things that I've placed on my vision board. So basically, you see moving forward, and one of my slogans is moving forward with purpose. So basically, just not moving forward, but being purposeful in the things that I'm choosing to do, and the decisions I'm making. So making sure that there's a purpose behind everything that I'm doing, and in that becomes taking that action step to actually go forward and rather if it's achieve a goal, or rather if it's basically accomplishing something, just basically taking that action step to go forward and, stepping out of my comfort zone, as I believe that we all have comfort zones that we're in. And when I think about, stepping out, myself being inspired by others, but not only that, but myself now going and inspiring people in my community, using my talents and my gifts and my knowledge to share with those in the community. For those who personally know me, I love to write. So I do poetry, I do books, and I have 2 published books that are already out there. So hence why you see books and write your own story. I believe in sharing our stories and leaving a legacy for the next generation. It's all about the next generation. I believe in, that's what I personally think, again, because if we don't impact the next generation, and we're not sharing our stories so that they can learn from some of the things that we've been through, and we can basically teach them from, where we were and where we're going. There's so much that we ourselves have to give to the next generation. So making sure not only leaving that legacy in our community, but leaving that legacy within our families as well. And one of the things that you'll see here on the vision board is agent of change. So challenging myself and asking myself, how can I further be an agent of change in my community? What are the different organizations that I can volunteer my time in? It's not always about volunteering monetary. If we don't have the money to volunteer monetary, what are some of the other ways that we can empower or, basically help our communities? So maybe it's volunteering our time within our communities. So hence, agent of change and working towards change and collaboration. And your family has the power to change the world. So an impact, just these are the words when I went through the magazine. It takes a lot of time to create a vision board, because it is something that you have to do. If you're doing it, if you want to do it properly, you have to be really strategic in what you do. It's not just going through the magazine and just picking any pictures. It's selecting images that resonate with you and selecting words that basically resonate with you. One of the things I placed on here is actually a watch. So the reason for my being of placing a watch on my vision board is because time is limited. Sometimes we feel that we have a lot of time, and really and honestly, time is limited. So I always say to myself, if there's something that I need to get done, I read this book, and it said, what if the book is basically called, I believe, 21 Days to Live. And it talks about the importance of going through life and being strategic and purposeful. And if you had 21 days to live, what are the things that you would do within those 21 days? And really, that book challenged me to start thinking, those 21 days, you have to think about that every day, because sometimes we say, sometimes I'm going to achieve, sometimes I'm going to take that step, someday, actually not sometimes, someday I'm going to take that step. But how do we know that someday is not today? How do we know it's not today that we're supposed to take that step to start planning towards our future? How do we know that it's not today that we're supposed to take that step to start planning towards being financially secure, towards planning towards a healthy lifestyle? So that saying someday, I read an article on that as well, and it spoke about how sometimes we wait on someday, not realizing that someday can be today. So hence why I put a reminder of a clock there, of a watch, to remind me that really time is limited and time is an essence. And one of my close friends once told me that one thing that we can never get back is time. And so I think about, if I would have started some of the things myself, if I would have started planning some of my goals 5, 7, 10 years ago, you know, focusing more on specific goals, where would I be today? So instead of even thinking that, what I decided to do is to start actually writing down these goals and getting through them and actually putting these steps in action. Hence why I have that action. It's very important. I put goals, I put leadership programs. I think it's important that I'm engaging with and networking in my community and learning from others and being mentored. As much as I'm mentoring others, it's important that I'm also being mentored and that I'm teachable and I'm learning from those leaders in my community. So that's what I want to share, you know, basically my vision board and, you know, the importance that it has to me. It's very important to me. And as I said in my other post, I'm a firm believer in vision boards. I placed the journey. So, you know, our life is a journey, and within that journey, we learn so much about ourselves. I've learned so much about who I am as an individual. And, you know, and I'm still learning that every day. It's a new learning experience. And it's important that I'm willing to change, and that word change. So when I see something that, you know, I say to myself, you know what, maybe I need to change that. For example, creating those healthy habits. What are some of the habits that I can create? One of the things I've been working on is basically, you know, waking up earlier in the mornings, where I used to wake up around 5:30 a.m. every morning and sit and, you know, go through my writing. So that's something that I am now working towards getting back to, waking up earlier in the morning. You know, I believe there's a saying, well, actually not a saying, there is research that states that those who wake up early in the morning, they accomplish more throughout their days. Of course, that would be evident that if you wake up early, you can accomplish much more even before you start your workday. So I just wanted to share again, you know, the vision board. It says, fulfill your destiny, you know, live your best life. And these are some of the things that stood out to me when I was creating my vision board. So I just wanted to share that with you and encourage you yourself that, you know, if you haven't created a vision board, you know, try to create one, or if you're interested in creating one, reach out to others in your community and find out how you can get a group together to create vision boards. As I shared, I do myself. I go to organizations and I create vision boards with individuals in different organizations. And it's a powerful thing to do. You know, it's when you're going through the magazines, you really start thinking about the things that you want to achieve within the next year to 5 years. And I know for me personally, doing vision boards, it's helped me a lot.